Hey, this is Alex from the Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast. To see more videos like this from the Good Old Boys, hit subscribe and support this independent podcast.
The way that we were drafting on this, it was a 14 round draft on this. Single QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 1 kicker, 1 defense, special team. So a pretty standardized league for a starting roster, and then a few bench spots on top of that one there as well. So pretty standardized draft, right? We tried to make it as close as we could to what most folks are going to see and going to encounter in their in the draft room that night. And we based all of this stuff off of a half point PPR scoring, right? And part of the reason we do half point PPR scoring is, one, we base all of our rankings off of a half point PPR. And two, it kind of lands right in the middle in between the standard scoring and full point PPR scoring. And you can kind of adjust back and forth and really, see how some of that would shift and look and work based on your league there. But this will give you kind of the middle ground, and you can adjust as you need if you're a full PPR or a standard scoring league there. This one was another one that I felt really solid about walking away from. But Nick Chubb at the 111, right? Like, I think Nick Chubb probably finishes as RB3 overall this year. Like, that's just kind of how I see him playing it. So with him taken as a last, kind of late round, first round pick, absolutely love that value there. Followed it up with CeeDee Lamb to get my wide receiver 1. Followed that up with Keenan Allen. So again, I've got 2 guys that have a lot of kind of just consistency there, wide receiver. Then went Joe Burrow, right? And kind of how I see that one playing out there. I've got Joe Burrow as QB4. So taking him in the 4, it's felt pretty good there. Followed that up with Javonte Williams, Rachaad White. So feeling really solid about that RB room. 6 rounds in. George Pickens in the 7th. George Pickens, a guy, not going to surprise me if we look up at the end of the season, actually kind of taking over wide receiver 1 in Pittsburgh there. Followed that up with A.J. Dillon. So again, right, just adding some depth there. Elijah Moore in the 9th. Felt pretty good about that, right? A little bit of an upside type of shot. Samaje Perine, right? I get the handcuff for Javonte, and Samaje's got standalone value on top of that. So felt really good there. Taking the double tap here. And this is a move I really like doing kind of late in the 11th, 12th, waiting on tight ends, and then double tapping Tyler Higbee, Gerald Everett. Did the double tap here. Went kicker defense to round out 13 and 14. But walking away from this one also felt very, very solid about this draft position as well.